Hello and welcome everyone to this brand new installment of NTW3 Multiplayer Battles. I'm your host Kaiser, and today we have a 4v4 on Italy 5A. We have a combined Iranian Ottoman alliance here versus a Spanish, two Canadians, and a Mamluk army over here on the far right. So, the far right is controlled by yours truly. I have Iran, and I am tasked with attacking the Mamluks and trying to hold the Spanish. In the middle, we have our empire, controlling another Iranian army, marching along, trying to get the center sort of mud field before the Spanish do, and he will. So yes, C9 cavalry. And then in the center, we have the Ottomans controlled by coal, and the Iranians controlled by Joey. Marching down this road here, trying to get to the center, trying to lock down this point, which will be vital. This is where most of the action will take place at the early game. Here we spot our first unit, some good old Lanceros de Castilla and Lanceros Provinciales. It's a good old Spanish cavalry here. Although these are pretty cheap. All Spanish cavalry is pretty cheap. Some very nice uniforms with their little white hats, sort of sash going on. Looks like they spotted the Persian cav. Mine over here. These are archer cavalry. Not very effective at melee, but very good at actually shooting. And I also have some very good lancers here, and some heavy cav here, little shields and chainmail armor, sort of look like medieval knights. And then of course some more lancers over here. These are the elite ones. Kizilbash. Right here we see our first contact. Dan's Shawnee scouts are trying to see if they can take out those mortars. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Takes out a couple of them. The Iranian army stops and tries to defend the mortars. Comes some more archer cavalry. Actually, no, these are shooter cavalry. Running to try to catch the Shawnees. Shawnees are desperately trying to run away. They can't escape. Ooh. Oh, they get the first shot off. Seems they get one. Their turn, boys. Seems they get two of them here. They got two each. Seems like they'll just sort of stand there and look menacingly at each other. Oh, looks like Joey's charging his cav. And, ooh, the Shawnees get absolutely devastated. They lose over half of their unit, over their men, so they will not be coming back. The Iranian army keeps marching on towards the town. There's a couple units here marching through the woods. Iranians have some very lovely European style uniforms. Very unique. Though their elongated hats, the red at the top. Very nice music playing here. See the Ottomans here with their trenches locking down this house. A couple units over here, making sure they don't get flanked. Ibrahim Pasha securing this house as a headquarters. You can see the Ottomans sort of expanding into this forest here, trying to guard their flanks. If you're in the right, not much happens for the first 30 minutes, just a sort of a stare down. Trying to get my archers in positions, but they couldn't shoot at the enemy cav, so I just pull it all back. Once I see that, oh no, sorry, not yet, but Spain does have some cannons coming around here. He's gonna sort of prop them up on this hill, so I move my cavalry out of the way. Move my archers sort of this way, because I see that, I hear actually, that Mamluks have a lot of cannons over on this side. Mamluks had a weird build. They didn't have very good infantry. They had a lot of skirmishers. I think there was 7 in total, or 7 or 8 in total. And as you can see, very, very heavy cav. And then I think it's 1, 2, 3 units of artillery. I think 2 of them are howitzers, I think, or one of them is howitzers. He has another one over here, the 56 pounder. He's gonna set it up on this hill. So I keep my army back, hidden, sort of to disguise where my army's going. I see that Bill's artillery is here. It's starting to come up this ridge, so I move my cavalry back to sort of hide it behind the hill side here, so that they don't get shot to pieces, because these are some very nice cav units that I do not want to be taken away from me by artillery. They prove vital later on, because Bill brings like, I think it's 8 units of cavalry. Spanish cav is very good, but when you have in numbers, it's very effective, especially against an army that only has 3 squareable units. Sort of make a mistake here. I march him through my cavalry, but then I move him quickly. Over here, the other Iran, played by Empire, sort of shifting more to the center so that he can occupy Spain while I try to destroy this unit, this army over here. You can see the Mamluks with their tunics, my archer cav in the distance. But the Mamluks is some very, very nice lancers slash heavy cav here, and then some knight-looking things. Mamalik Mutharika. Here you can see the bombardment is still going on. This time on the British troops. I think this is Rook's. This is Rook's army, and then Dan's army is somewhere over here. You can hear it if you listen closely. But then you can see just this absolute, just sort of hellscape created by the gem effects and some effects mod pack actually that I have that adds smoke, different smoke texture. Let's see the British boys sort of overlooking the town where the Ottomans are there, defying them in the distance. We'll come back here later. Back to this right side. Start moving my cavalry slowly ever forward, trying to get a couple shots over here on these guys. Maybe try to whittle them down a little bit, but not very effective. It draws them, it sort of lures them towards where my heavy cav is, but not very effective. And I have some skirmishers here. These have 100 range and 36 accuracy, while these have 89 men with 80 range, I believe, and 28 accuracy, I think, or 27. But I have my heavy cav back here, hoping to sort of lure the Mamluk heavy cav. Just trying to get a couple shots, run away. Not much, just a little bit of kiting going on. Some more bombardment going on over here. You can see the Canadian cav has been spotted, and then you can finally see the Dan's army over here on the right, and he has Fort Montreal in the forest, shockingly. So Joey pulls away his shooter cav. See Dan's army just sort of marching around the town, around the fortified positions. A couple of Ottomans here trying to take shots at Iroquois. Kill 6, not bad. I think they take an equal amount of deaths, almost. Persia moving their 8-pounders very close to the front without any defense. I don't know if this was a mistake, maybe, but it certainly seems a little, considering he's moving straight towards light dragoons. Oh yeah, seems it was as he runs it back now. Oh, looks like, ooh, Iroquois is taking heavy losses. Oh, here comes more shells from the mortars. Ooh, this is brutal. There's a unit around here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, the leather hats took 8 casualties from one shot. Somewhere back here. Oh, yep, there it is. 8 men dead from one single mortar shot. You can see the Persians and the British sort of getting to a gunfight. Don't know how wise that was necessarily. Oh, looks like they're attacking with cavalry. Rook seems brave with his 19th Light Dragoons. The rest of the Persian army is marching up behind him. Some very nice grenadiers here with their red pants and sort of green shirts, olive green. Battle over here on my side is finally flaring. There's a little bit of chaos here. I see him charge his cavalry, so I sort of run away my skirmishers. But then I don't know what I guess he tries to get away from my light infantry. I didn't click cold fire quick enough for these men, so they take out about 10 of mine because I am an idiot. But I get some good shots on them. Kill about 9 cavalrymen, not bad. But my cavalry is now sort of not exposed, but it's shown that it's on that side. And I'm marching some men up here to sort of guard my flank against these units. I have 3 auxiliaries. Sort of just marching to the center here, sort of put some flanking fire across the river. I march these men up to this hill, get some shots into these Mamluks. I'll leave some cav with the other players' artillery, which doesn't lose me a unit, but it does get them into quite a bit of trouble with heavy casualties. You can see the Mamluk artillery over here starting to open fire. And you can see the actual Mamluks starting to shoot, but they're shooting right into the hillside. Not really causing any damage. And for maybe these guys. And these guys, definitely these guys are causing some damage. Some very good grenadier units here. I send my my light infantry to try to make the enemy cavalry pull back. My skirmishers start opening fire on his, as well as my Kizilbash. Very nice uniforms here. They sort of look like Mongolians, actually. Should have probably gotten my cab across, maybe here. Would have been more effective. I move my cavalry up by, I don't know why, I guess I just misclicked maybe. Oh, here's when the lag makes those good old spaghetti lines. I start moving my modernized infantry up Here's a nice charge. Back on the other side. Persians taking heavy losses to the British. They're just absolutely demolishing them. Although it is just 2 units, they'll probably come back. And they are. But they do have a lot of men. Persian cav over here tries to go against the Canadian cav. One of them routes. This one will come back most probably. I lose some cavalry over here on this side. My light. I think these are the bow cav? No, these are some lancers actually. They run away, the cowards. But then my heavy cav here sort of saves the day. Takes out those Mutarika. I'm able to push my Nizams up. My light infantry. Start to get some flanking shots into these Arab grenadiers. This unit's starting to get rattled by 3 units. And then here you can see the micro. I just forgot about this unit, so I just start shooting at it with my other units around them. Build on some of this cav to try to stop my cav attack over here on this side. Send my C9 cav with their speed. I don't know how these men routed. Try to take out those cannons. Back over here, the Ottomans are pulling back behind their trenches, trying to hold back the British, keep them at bay. Some British cav there. A lot of units on this side of the battle for some reason. I guess they didn't really. They were trying to prepare in case the Spanish army sort of came this way. That never happened. By contrast, Dan just marches completely around Joey here on in the town. They start pulling back to try to defend the main road, trying to defend these mortars, which will come in very handy actually. You can see some Monmouth share, starting with the charge with some Canadian light dragoons, but he pulls them off. And these Persians are pulled back to the safety of the town. Over here on the right, still just a bit of gunfire going on. I see that the Spanish cav is absolutely tearing me up, so I just not sacrificed because they didn't die, but I sort of forsook maybe the artillery. Nothing happened to it, so it's all good. Knock out the Ottoman cavalry, and I start just absolutely tearing into these Mamluks here. Nothing going on in the center. Nothing really happens for quite a bit. It's just in the town where there's just absolute hell and chaos going on. These grenadiers come on. They sort of look like widows. You can see some lights getting either charged, or they did charge. I'm assuming they got not charged, but sort of dragged into the fight. But then this unit is about to start shooting into them. You can see some Persian sort of chaos going around. This entire Canadian army, commanded by Dan, is just marching straight around them. You can see here they're probably going to lose the mortars. I don't think they noticed yet. These British 6-pounder horse are just tearing into this unit of Ottomans. Absolute chaos here, right next to the church. The Muslims are trying to hold back the Christian heathens. They're just trying to hold back the 21st, and it seems like they're winning so far. They are grenadiers, these are line infantry, so it does make sense. And they do rout eventually, and I think they do continue the charge. Yes, that is a very good. Ooh. Jesus, that was very good. Was a bit lucky. I think they get their shots off before they actually do get taken out. Cole still hasn't noticed. It's in full chaos over here.
Our men are running, sir.
Back on the other side, the Spanish cav is just being absolutely horrendous. Well, I do get some good shots off, and I do force them to retreat. I think I rout them, actually. And you can see I'm just pushing these Mamluks back off their hill. My light infantry is going to town on these poor Falahun. So they just came back. Seems like they didn't want to rout just yet. Then I engage the Spanish over on this side. Back over here. It's like the British are starting their mass assault right into the town. Which, after the game, Dan told our team that he actually told Rook not to go in the town, which was a smarter thing, as they could just surround it. As you can see, at this point, we all thought, this is gonna end badly. We're gonna lose before the 30-minute mark. The Persians here weren't engaging. For like a couple seconds there, I guess due to just like targeting specific units, or like just efficient positioning, I was sort of almost out shooting some of these units here. Especially the Mamluks here, they were getting torn apart. As you can see, they have a 56 pounder, the monstrous 56 pounder here. That, you know, will actually survive to the end of the game, although its efficiency is questionable. Let's keep attacking there. Back to the town. You can see the British and the Ottomans here. The Ottomans trying to hold back the British heathens. They do hold, and Rook loses a very, very important portion of his army. This allows the Ottomans to sort of shift their units to facing the units here in the forest, the British.
Sir, our general
You can
is
see
under attack.
some Persians here charging some Swiss mercenaries. I didn't really quite get why Cole kept some of these units here. I think this is actually Empire's, not Joey's, so he's marching them back over there. The British is trying to shoot at entrenched Ottomans. No matter how good of a shot you are, this will almost always be a losing fight. These West Indies second foot are marching through the church, trying to get behind the Iranians. As you can see, a massive charge going on here at the back side of the church. Or actually, yeah, the back side of the church. The British just getting beat back at every turn. You can see the Iranian general sort of pushing in and saving the day. This main attack here gets absolutely just crushed by the Muslim forces. Many dead bodies all over the place. Oops, sorry about that. Many dead British boys. You can see they got beaten back there as well. This town is a graveyard of the British army. Here on my right, I just charged his skirmishers and his line infantry, trying to push them back a bit, which forces the Spanish player, without support of the Mamluk, to go back to his cannons. You can see this engagement is finally flaring up over here. Bill decides he is not having any of that and retreats away. And instead uses his cannons to start punching holes through the Persian line. Back over here in the center. Or in the far left, sorry. British, they're starting to sort of not relieve, but they're not sort of trying to encircle anymore. They're sort of trying to stabilize their lines. They got pushed back heavily here in the town, so they're just trying to focus and trying to make one big line. The Iranian general, along with some other modernized infantry, marching to the center of the town, be held as reserve. This 100th-foot Prince Regent guarding the entrance from any other possible charges. Arthur Brooke overseeing the battle from right next to his cannons. Relatively safe. These militia cannons could be used more efficiently. Maybe either move them. Ooh, seemed like Cole's going for a sneaky general charge on those cannons. Yeah, it looks like he's going for it. He is going right for that. Back to my side because I am a greedy bastard and I just love hogging the camera. These 56 pounders start setting out. They just start absolutely blasting my skirmishers. I start moving my infantry to support the other Iran against Bill's Spain and his 70,000 man 70,000 cav army. Looks like the general was able to get the cannons, which were being pretty effective against them. But he does get routed. He does not die, but he does run away. Oh, seems like someone's running. Oh, some skirmishers got charged by some Mamluks. That's expected. Just resting up my infantry here, getting ready for this push on this side, trying to bring more guns to bear on the Spanish since they can outshoot me. I don't think by accuracy, but by reload skill. Persians are here, very inefficiently placed. If he could get more, for example, 2 units to fire on one instead of sort of one-on-one confrontation, it would be more efficient. You can see Bill moving his cavalry over to this side and ready to charge down this entire line. I think he routes this entire section of infantry here. He's getting way too close to these cannons. They're just canistering into shreds. Back here, ooh, the general comes back and he tries to get them, but he's just doesn't quite get there. You can see sort of Dan and the remainder of Rook's army here.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh, there go my skirmishers. See, Dan's army has essentially cut us off from our 4-pointer here. He does have units inside because the door is broken, or busted in, I guess you can say. That is a good indicator to see if they have units inside a house or not, if you cannot actually see them, and you do not recall if they are inside or not. If there is a unit there or not. I have some Chechens here, engaging some Syrian Mamluks. Just in the distance, just harassing them, making sure they don't do anything tricky. I started the engagement with the Spanish. As you can see, I have 4 units attacking 3 Spanish units. I'm about to have 4 more attacking 1. So this is how you sort of want your engagements to go if you have lower reloading skill or lower accuracy. Sort of get your units to just overpower the enemy. Well, they do have better accuracy, or maybe have better accuracy, and definitely have better reload. I'm out shooting them just because I have much more volume of fire. As you can see, this cavalry charge that I told you is just devastating.
Now they must break.
1 or 2 units of cavalry just absolutely devastate this entire section of Persian line infantry. Over here, they finally decide to push on the on Rook's remaining army. A very nice idea by Cole and Joey. Effectively destroy the remainder of Rook's army, and he is out of the fight. Especially if they take this cannon and kill Arthur Brooke, which I believe they did. Yes, they did. Arthur Brooke lies on the field of battle. Don't know where. Trying to find him. That, oh, that seems to be him. Oh, no, that is a drummer boy. Not sure. Charges Arthur Brooke into some L2 infantry. They're guerrilla, and they're not very good, so they will rout them. But they do take some quite heavy losses in the process. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong thing. They do take, I think, 10 dead men. And Cole is charging his infantry back at them. With more infantry coming from behind them, his unit's days are numbered. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess this is Dan's general, not Rook's. So, where would Rook's general be? I'm not quite sure then. Because if that's Dan's... Oh, there it is. So Rook's general is killed in this forest here. Too many dead Englishmen to see which one is him. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. Not sure. But Cole starts marching his men back in the direction of Dan's army. And effectively keeping a reserve here of his weaker units. Doesn't want to engage them just in case anything happens and he needs them. Over here I decide to cross the river to sort of put some more pressure on Bill and relieve it from my Persian ally. See this cav coming, so I sort of not panic, but like just start clicking everywhere. Put 4 units against 3 of theirs, maybe 4, although not all of these men have direct line of sight.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
You can see, very bad idea putting some of your best units in front of 9-pounders. They can get easily canistered. Very, very poor decision on my allies' behalf. Engagement begins on this side. Start shooting down on the Spaniards. I have 3 units to his 2, even though 1 is his general. I will end up outshooting them because I have roughly 243 men to his 200. So, just the absolute volume of fire. Although he does have a unit in this house, to be fair. But only, I think it's 2 per window, so, what, 12 to 18 men are firing. Get closer to his unit to pump some more shots in there. Get this unit to face Los Pardos over here to whittle this line quicker. Might have been a better idea to try to get his general, but hindsight is 2020. Still has an insane amount of cavalry, which is quite annoying throughout the battle. I'm not quite sure what my ally was thinking here, as this canister is going to be brutal.
This building has fallen to
He
the enemy.
forms square, and this is not good. Let's see the carnage. Oof. Absolutely brutal. Oh, it's just brutal. Many dead Persians, and Bill does chase them down justifiably, trying to get them under half strength so that they do not come back. I do still have this Chechen unit in reserve, and forgot about these units. I put this one here to sort of distract the 56 pounder, although I could have maybe put it here to try to get some shots off. He is shooting at my, however you pronounce it. The unit that I sent these Chechens to kill sneaks by them and gets into the house.
Our men are running, sir.
Gunfire still roaring over here. This front has been relatively peaceful for the time being. After that insanely decisive engagement here in the center, the British are just outnumbered by just the sheer amount of men these Muslims can just
Our men are
pump
running,
out.
sir.
Some more canisters coming into some Kizilbash. I move my light infantry here. See, you can see Bill's damn cavalry came just in time and routed 2 of my units. They'll come back, but it was quite annoying. Both of these do come back, but I do end up shooting them with these 2 units here. Tries to get a sneaky charge in, but my secret ways
Our men are
allow
running,
me to
sir.
prevail. This unit here is routing due to cav and flanking fire. These Husares de Castilla will get point blank fire in melee, and they will rout. I do have some more light infantry coming because I did expect that. Well, I did not react to it quickly enough. Over here, sadly, this unit didn't already get routed. I'm not sure, but I know my ally put hit one of his units inside of mine and caused them to run. The conflict is flaring back over here with the remaining 8 English units here, sort of holding back, or 7 now, since that one routed. 7 English units trying to hold against the combined Persian Ottoman force. These New Brunswick offensive was trying to come back and help defend the house. As you can see, there were actually some 41st foot because of the door. You could clearly see. He does still have his cannon back here. It would probably be wiser to move it up closer. Same with these horse artillery, which he is moving up. I did forget this unit back here, and this unit did come back. Should probably move it. Move some of my Chechens and some more of my infantry back across the river, since Bill's cavalry has been taken care of roughly. See, this is a bad idea, stretching out your men like this. I will get just shot by more units, because more units are actually able to fire. Well, he does try to catch the 16-pound horse, but he does get canistered by the 9-pounder foot artillery. Back over here, engagement across the river commenced as I make a push on these 2 Spanish infantry units. His general and a Infantería de las Cortes de Cádiz. His infantry here is just getting absolutely torn to bits. But to be fair, he is also tearing me to bits. But I do still have units in reserve. He has most of his units engaged on these 3. I still have 2 units in reserve. 4 if you count these 2. And then these Chechens, which I'll move there, but then I'll command them to take the house. Oh, there's some Sneaky Royal Americans hidden in this forest here, but they get taken out by these light Iranian infantry. 21st Royal Fusiliers are charged by some other Persian grenadiers. This unit came back the 100th foot. I don't think Dan has noticed yet. If he has, he might just be waiting to move them. Oh, this troops flank. Dan is just taking shots and retreating. Very smart idea, trying to maybe make a defense around this house. Back over here. These cannons are just tearing us apart. He does try to move his 6-pounder horse artillery over here. But because it's in a river and on a road, the chance of bugging out will be extremely high, so he just decides to move it away altogether. These guard Spanish infantry are shooting my poor Chechens. So I'll bring more Iranians to start shooting into them. I bring this unit over here and I will then put it here to start shooting into the Infanteria de León or those
Our men
cazadores.
are running, sir.
Seems like some of my men are running here in the center. Oh yes, this is a unit. He embeds some of his infantry in mine, which causes casualties. Back over here, nothing much. Ooh, that's a nice shot by those fencibles. But he will still get charged, whether by one Persian unit or another. Oh, and here comes the general, trying to get some glory. Very nicely done. This unit is routed. But let's try to get some shots in with his 4th foot. By this point, the battle in this side is effectively decided due to the fact that the numbers are just too much for the British to handle. The micro is finally paying off as I did break, or got close to breaking that unit, and that unit did actually break because of just the sheer amount of men firing into them. I'm sending some more regular infantry back this way. Looks like Bill is still... Oh no. Wait, where's Bill's cavalry? I don't remember what happened to his last unit of cavalry.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
But Iran does charge. Ooh, he's gonna canister his unit. Oh, he did. That was brutal. He could get his cannons now. If they don't get... And he got them. Nicely done. And they're wavering. Looks like he'll get them. Very, very well done by my ally there. They both rout, but he did get the cannons. This horse artillery is unlimbering. I notice and try to get there as quick as possible. Maybe get some good shots close range into these Spaniards, but he limbers up, and I have to pull back some of my units because it would mean risking my army to his artillery there. I do still have a unit here. These Chechens, get them all the way up here, and then I decide to march them back over there. Take the house. Persian artillery here. Very nice job. This unit does get pugged out, sadly. This unit of Mamluk 56 pounders is still going strong. Trying to relocate, trying to get some shots into me. As you can see, he starts canistering me, so I retreat. And I move my general back here to try to get his cannon. As you can see, I've routed a couple of his infantry now. Too many men firing into him. He did rout one of mine from the house, just pouring into their flank. I do move in on this flank to try to get these 9-pounders and these ligeros de campo mayor. I sort of sacrificed my ally there by moving my infantry back. But I do move them back in place. Back over here, the Ottomans are starting the process of encircling the English here, as well as the Persians. They still have 2 units behind them, but it won't be much use.
Our men are running, sir.
One of my men over there just got canistered, apparently. I probably would have told my men, I don't know if he did, but also I'd probably right-click on this unit with these 3, try to get all 3 to focus fire on him, since these are just militia units after all. They do have a longer range. They have 85 range rather than 70 range. So they do get longer distance, so that's why they can fire at these guys, but they can't fire back. You can see one of them just died there. He's playing the range to his advantage as well as Joey over here. Back over here, we finally rout the artillery. I charge in some Chechens and excuse me. Charging some Chechens as well as my general. And we just absolutely just tear apart the remainder of Bill's army here. Without his cavalry, he couldn't really do much. I don't know if this was a misclick, but he does advance this unit closer to my line, which just gets him torn apart. Especially when this unit opens fire. Just 10 men in one volley. Devastating. He's running away his infantry now, trying to get back to this house. But the battle is effectively over. My Chechens are finally going back, trying to take that house from those filthy, filthy Sunni Mamluks. Shia is a true Islamic religion, a sect. After all, it is a religion of peace, is it not? Here we can see the English just pouring some fire. Oh, rest in peace, Thomas. But the Ottomans are just vastly superior in number. You can see the just absolute huge amount of Ottoman troops here firing down on the British. These poor Canadians trying to hold their own. But the Ottomans are out of range, it seems, or they are out of ammo. Probably the former. 13 foot, still trying to hold. Looks like the 100th did not feel like like fighting these Ottoman troops that turned around. So they let out a volley, trying to take out those damn British boys. Back over on this side, Spain has been effectively pushed away from the river. And my troops, you can see here, advancing to take shots against Vélez, Malaga, and Córdoba. You can see my men getting ready to fire. They take the Spanish volley with honor. Ooh. The Spanish are trying to move this way to shore up their defenses around the house. But there goes the Malaga, so I start pushing up the Chechens and the Kizilbash, as well as the Nizams. Back over here. This Brunswick Fencibles is getting charged by the Iranians. I get broken almost instantly. The Iranians are still marching around trying to fight for that house, because if we do not take that house, we do lose under LOC rules. So Dan puts in some more units, try to hold it more effectively. Now there's 2 units inside the house, 3 on the outside. Although 2 of them are militia, which can get easily outshot by the Ottomans. There's the 100th came back, trying to distract the Muslim hordes, but they're getting shot back. Very nice uniforms these guys have with their white hats. Still firing upon the Somersetshire, which are facing the wrong way. Dan, no! They're turning away from the enemy. Inside the units pull back to avoid taking more casualties from the house. Oh, looks like the Caldwell Rangers got charged by the Javad Khan. Ooh, only 5 men lived to tell the tale. I only count 4. Back on this side, this cannon is still firing. Don't know why. Might as well keep going, I guess. Starting to move across, trying to attack the house here. Trying to get a couple sneaky shots into these Spaniards. Light infantry moving up on the road. Trying to get one shot. Oh, but it looks like he's putting them into the house, so it won't happen. So right now we control the house in the middle, the house on the far left, but the enemy does control 2 4-pointers and that house right there. The Ottomans here are advancing, trying to take out these final English units so they can start their main assault on the 4-pointer. Persians coming from the other side trying to squash them. Hammer and the anvil, as they say. I wonder what it is with the British and white hats. Maybe it's just an 1812 thing. I don't think there's many of white hat units in the 1815 or 1808 version, so I'd probably have to ask Cossack or Uxbridge, who's the one that makes the uniforms. Engaging the Spaniards over here again. Muslims controlling the hill. The 2 light infantry over here. I think I targeted, yeah, I'm targeting the Cazadores so that they won't shoot at the house. Seems like this one's gonna get routed pretty quickly. And there's another Spanish unit over here, which I tried charging with this in a couple of minutes. But then I just send my Ken after them to shoot them down.
The men are fatigued, sir, and must
The men are
rest a while.
fatigued, so looks like the Persians here moving in. Their regular infantry about to get some shots. Get one. Not very good, considering how close they are. But they are in the... I think these count as woods. So I guess a couple of trees ate the musket balls. Oh, seems like this English Incorporated militia will get the charge off. And, ooh, there goes one routes. 2 rout by English militia. Wow. That was a pretty good charge. Oh, they get charged by Nizams. And they rout in turn. It's like this militia is getting charged by the Sultans. It's like the English charge their infantry. And the Persians run away. No. Charge is over, Hans. Oh, looks like the Muslims are starting to attack the building. Oh, they are out as well. 2 units sent in, 2 units routed. But they do have some Persian grenadiers here, which are... I think they're in the house. Or, no. I guess it's just a bug there. Oh, they do effectively take out one of the units in there. Oh, they're sending in... They're just pouring everything in there, aren't they? Let's see what's going on. Oh! Ahmed just got stabbed in the back. Ooh. There goes John. He's dead. Looks like the British do get pulled out of the 4-pointer. And because now we have 4, 1, and 1, that equals 6. 6 out of 15, 6 out of 11, sorry. And we do have the LOC advantage as of yet. Moving my Ken over here to start firing on these Infanteria de Córdoba. This other Infanteria de Córdoba is fighting valiantly against the Persians. You can see a lot of my men died here. They will rest with Allah. So, the rest of this battle just consists of me trying to jockey for position and try to kill a couple more Spaniards here. A couple more Spaniards here. The excitement sort of dies down, to be honest. Looks like someone still had a militia artillery back here. Not sure what it's doing. But yeah, it was an overall very fun battle to play. Very, back and forth, especially here in this town, when Dan just decided to just go just right around the town, like didn't even try to face the trenches here. Rook made the fatal mistake of trying to go into melee against the Persians and the Ottomans here. After the battle, I think Dan came to tell us that they tried to avoid the town, but I guess Rook just got sucked into it. You can see plenty of dead men here. Both British, Persian, and Turkish. So then after that, the mortars here, deployed by Cole to try to take out a couple units. Didn't quite work out as we'd hoped. Did some work. Did some work. But yeah, the British just marching completely around and smashing the left flank. Most of us thought it was over at that point. But then I crushed the Mamluks in 10 minutes. He brought a weird army comp, a lot of skirmishers, 2 good grenadiers, and then just really terrible infantry. He brought 2 extremely heavy cavalry and 3 cannons, which, I mean, it's good, but you need to use them effectively, otherwise there's not much point to them. Over here, funny about the Cordoba, and I send my remaining units towards this house. One of my regular line infantry routes. My ally here is starting to charge into the house, trying to get in there, trying to get the final point, but it's not very effective because he has his general, a line infantry, and actually another line infantry in there holding it. I do have my general here, but he can only inspire, so couldn't really help him much. I think they will route 1 unit. Oh, yes, they do route 1 unit, but they get routed quickly in return. Yeah, other than that big mistake of trying to go into the town where the majority of the forces were, by Rook, the other Canadian player, they fought very bravely, especially Bill. Bill held 2 Persian armies for pretty much the entire game, or for most of the game, after I defeated the Mamluks. He held them with very good cannon fire and very good use of cavalry, although it was very annoying, considering he brought like 8 units or 7, I believe it was. And Persia doesn't have many squareable units. But yeah, I think he comes up with 2,000 kills after the battle, which is very impressive considering he lost in the engagement. Looks like they're trying to take a couple more kills here. Trying to send more units in here to prevent us from capturing the house. Oh, my men rout almost instantly. And here's the results screen. You can see Dan got 1283. He was the the British army or the Canadian army that just marched around the forest or through the forest and around the town, trying to encircle the Ottoman-Persian force here. Rook was the one that marched through the town, or at least attempted to, and got 1096. The Mamluks over there, a very, very small amount of troops, considering you have 400 man infantry units as the Mamluks. And then Bill coming up with 2081. I was actually surprised when I saw that, considering he brought a ton of cannon, a ton of cavalry, and he was still able to bring a lot of infantry. Must have been the subpar. But he comes up with a whopping 2,050 kills, which is it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then I come up with 1419, barely going positive. Cole comes with 1,069. Joey comes up with 1216, also barely going positive. And then our Empires comes up with 451. He took a lot of losses there in the center after Bill's cavalry charge and just the canister just blowing him apart. Um, as you can see, Cole deployed the most out of anyone, mostly because Ottoman units are insanely big. As you can see, my units with the most kills were the I was English is hard. Pleasantly surprised with this unit. I didn't think it'd do as much as it did, but it did pull its own weight and more. You can see that my 3 elite infantry came in second, third, and fourth. With the archer cav actually coming at 82, probably from the trying to kill a bunch of artillery. Then one of my lancer cav, I think this was the one. Yeah, the Chevron one. This was the one that sort of held the Spanish cav at bay. And yeah, overall very fun battle, very good, equal points, fair map. Um, well, that was it. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been Kaiser, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.